Okay.
Ay, bailalo, bailalo.
We are live now on Twitch and YouTube, guys.
Woo-hoo!
Ay,
Awesome. Welcome, everybody.
Confident you never get declined. Man, come.
ay, bailalo, bailalo.
Yeah, this is probably the first time we're live streaming an On Deck event. It's exciting. If anyone's joining just now, we have a Slido link in the chat. Feel free to answer the questions. I want to know about you. Welcome, everybody. Wherever you're joining, welcome, welcome. Okay. I'm going to soon show us Slido results. I'm excited to see where everybody's joining from and what you think, what you thought of the pizza, pineapples on pizza. Okay, I'm getting requests to dance. All right, we'll see. Bobby, this is for you. This is for all the on-deckers who are joining right now. Thank you, Eric. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. We have folks from all the time zones possible. Appreciate you joining. We have folks from Singapore, we have folks from Australia, which is definitely quite early in the morning, so thanks for joining. We're going to get started in just about 2 minutes. That's right, Robbie. We have world domination in the house. Erica joining. Regina, welcome. Okay, while we do this, I'm going to put up the Slido results in a second. Okay, let's see. We've asked you, how many projects have you built with no code? A lot of them are new. I see a lot of them are 2 to 5, a lot of them are 6 to 10. Wow, that's cool. I asked the question, where are you watching from? Europe, definitely dominating. Okay, United States. Are you wearing pajamas right now? I am. Business on top, peaches on the bottom. That's me right now. Okay, well, this is for later. So I'm gonna bring it back. And give this a little break. Folks, this is my first time hosting a live event across the world, so excuse me there. I'm figuring this out along with y'all, so All right. Okay. This is time. It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. You've heard me say 15 times the thank you word, but I think it falls short still because this is exciting times for On Deck No Code, On Deck in general. We've heard the big news yesterday. The big fundraising news. I'm sure the Twitter's blown up everywhere. All your tweets, you're seeing this, and this happening right after that was never planned this way to be. So thank you, Eric and David, for putting the maximum amount of pressure on me and On Deck No Code team. But I appreciate everybody joining. A lot of fellows are joining around the world. A lot of On Deck friends are joining. A lot of On Deck investors are joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the first thing I want to say is congratulations. And I say this from the bottom of my heart to all of the fellows who shipped your capstone projects at ODNC. Well, ODNC is short form for On Deck No Code. So if you hear me say that word over and over again, that's because that's the short term we use here. And a lot of the fellows who joined ODNC, first ever No Code Fellowship, the first ever cohort of the first ever No Code Fellowship, you all had families, you all had, life things going on, you all had full-time jobs, so many had full-time jobs. So you did this while you were juggling so many things and in these pandemic times. So these are unreal times, and I just want to honor your dedication and honor your focus and honor the fact that you went over the milestone. That is really, really, really impressive. So congrats to everybody who shipped. We had 70 pitches in the last 3 days, and today we're going to see the top 12. But kudos to everybody who presented so far, and you're going to see the best of the best today. Just to give a little context to why we're doing Demo Day. Now, a lot of people were curious about no code. When I joined On Deck, I could see from the community, I was a no coder myself for about 3 years before I joined On Deck. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in this niche, but we didn't see a program that was dedicated to making sure no coders were given the spotlight that they deserve. So a part of my goal while I was designing the fellowship was to make sure this is all about celebrating no code and the creativity in no code. So Demo Day is sort of like a wrap up of our first cohort and allowing them, the fellows, to celebrate and highlight outstanding capstone projects. The other thing, of course, like I said, is to inspire anyone who may be remotely interested in this no code space, no code / low code. We're not very attached to the definitions here. The lines are blurry, so let's be real. As long as the projects are built, using any of the no code low code tools, they're qualified. So to also showcase what kind of tools and stacks are coming out of in the no code market, we have quite a few of them actually as our partners for ODNC. Bubble, Zeno, and Glide, who we'll get to hear from in a minute. So we're really excited to showcase like what was possible to build on top of these. And just to kind of level set again about what this is not. It's, even though it says Demo Day, it is not about fundraising. It is not about the next round or the next round or market size or any of these dynamics that come into play when you're really a startup. A lot of these fellows are early in the journey, and we're trying to just celebrate their ingenuity and the creativity in that space. And so think of it more like a project showcase at Stanford and less like a Techstars or YC Demo Day. What brought us here? From a cohort of 130 fellows at ODNC 1, 70 of them pitched in the last 3 days. We had preliminary rounds that were the 3 days I was talking about. They're called showcase sessions. So we made sure everybody got a chance to pitch and share their work with their cohort and the On Deck ecosystem. And today we're picking the top at the top and letting them come to all of you, wherever you're joining from, like the whole world. So really excited for the top 12 projects. And it would be remiss if I didn't thank our judges who've been helpful and their time and their advice in the last 5, 6, 7 days. Thanks to everybody who helped with ODNC 1, Prakash from Zeno, Brandon, our On Deck, Arvid, Carl, Mariam Hakobian, Mark Magnuson, Toby, Turbin, Blake. Thank you. If you're watching, just know that we appreciate you. Just want to share a few words about On Deck No Code. As I said, we call it ODNC. It is definitely about no code and low code, on paper. But really, the deeper, profound mission that we all have is similar to what OnDeck's mission is, to put more people in business. We saw that in every other fellowship. We're trying to give people more shots, and with No Code, we're trying to do the same thing. Our real goal is empowering fellows to become better builders and better entrepreneurs, and just like this graphic shows, basically be their best self, and using No Code as superpowers. So that's the goal of ODNC. How do we do this? We achieve it with a buffet of events, workshops, and programming. So we have how-to workshops. We have co-building sessions where people can build together. There's a lot of collaboration that happens at ODNC 1. We have just ship it sessions where basically you can watch an expert create an app, a web app, or a website in 60 minutes, and you can follow along with them, which is kind of cool. We have fireside chats with the world's best experts in no code and just entrepreneurship in general. We have office hours to help you get unstuck, and we have social events. There's no on-deck fellowship with no proper social events. Let me tell you that. So we also have, these are the mechanics, but at the high level, we're trying to get these builders to understand two things: is to build great stuff and then to build in public. I believe in building in public because it allows you to talk to users often and openly while you build your next big thing. So you don't have to wait 6 months for your launch. Every day is launch day. So a lot of the programming is geared around helping you talk to customers before you're fully ready, and then make sure that you're always building something that people would want to love. How did the fellowship start? For the first cohort, we had 130 fellows from 28 countries, believe it or not. I'm in Atlanta here, but we had folks from all over the world. We have Australia, we have like South Africa, we're everywhere. Actually, at the launch time, we had the highest number of fellows outside the US, which was sort of like an on-deck record. This is back in January, but I'm sure it was broken by now because of the other fellowships. Some of my coworkers are probably rolling their eyes at me. But it was definitely exciting to have such a global presence in this fellowship, because no code, as I always envisioned, was truly a global phenomenon. The movement was happening around the world, and so we wanted to cater to that community. How it's going, some of the big hits here, like we had 2 fellows win maker grants on Product Hunt, 4 fellows get jobs at world-class startups, including On Deck, a fellow raising $100K pre-seed from his EdTech startup, and a fellow winning a grant, $6K grant from University Incubator. One of my favorite stories, heartwarming stories, was Kathy Carver, if she's here, shout out, building a vaccine site for COVID-19, and she was interviewed on Good Morning America. And all these like little things to me, they matter much more than like the grand stuff that we tend to be always caught up about. And a fellow, of course, getting into Pioneer Fellowship, which is actually, I heard, is harder than getting into YC. So with that said, I want to move on to our partners. We had an exciting round of partners join us for ODNC 1. We definitely want to, take a moment and appreciate them. Like, without them, there's a lot of the programming wouldn't have happened. A lot of the perks and a lot of the credits wouldn't have happened. So big thank you to Bubble. If Emmanuel's here, he's probably in one of the judges' rooms, but thank you, Emmanuel. Prakash
I'm
is
here.
Thank you. You wanna go off and give a 10-second,
Well, I already had the opportunity to talk to the cohort, so it's great. I'll just say I'm very excited to be here. I'm glad we did this time. I hope we'll do more of those things with OnDeck. So good luck, everyone. I'm looking forward to see what you've built.
Excellent. Thank you. Just want to see if Prakash is here from Zeno. Just want to give a quick 5 seconds.
I am.
Hey, Prakash.
Yes, I am here. I also, just to echo that, am just so grateful to be part of this ODNC 1. It's been so amazing working with so many of you, and I'm just constantly blown away looking at all of the projects that have been shipped, and also KP, all of the accomplishment that you've been able to foster in ODNC 1. So I would say let's give a big hand to KP and team for putting this together.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to hear if you have anybody from Glide. David, you're here. I'll go 3, 2, 1. Mike.
Oh yeah.
All right. Awesome, David.
Zoom is the new app. I'm just learning how to use it. Yeah, I've been so impressed by everyone's creativity and innovation, and it was very special to be included. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate all our partners. Today was it's a Friday. It's not a weekend, so like, they're taking time out of their schedules. I appreciate that. Quickly moving on to a fun little interactive segment. So now we heard how global ODNC was. Let's find out how global this session is. So pull out your phones, or if you're on computer, go to a new tab and type in odnc.io/demo day map. And put in your name and location. Tell us where you're joining from. Within a moment, I'm going to spotlight the Luma map. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Ooh. I see people dropping pins in Europe. Europe's pretty heavy. We have a New Zealand. Let me guess, that's David Booth. I hope it is him. We have South America. Wow, nice. Excellent. Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, India, a couple of Indian spots. Singapore. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. This map will stay alive, so you can play with it if you want later. But this is excellent. So switching back to my slides. I promise you I practiced this 20 times, but still it's always a fun thing. Okay, and so for today's session, we have a few guests among us, friends of On Deck, people who care so much about what we're doing here at ODNC. I just want to give a couple minutes for each of them to go off mute and just express their excitement for our fellows. Eric, if you're here.
Hey everybody, it's great to see you all. And the one idea I want to just sort of get across is that this is a momentous day. If you think about take an organization like a Y Combinator, and you look at their first cohort, and you look at the people that went through it, Alexis Ohanian, Justin Kahn, Sam Altman. These were people who, for the next decade, went on to not only create amazing things together, build lifelong relationships, but also inspire the next generation of amazing builders and creators. And we see something similar here too. We think that relationships have been built here that will last a decade plus, and people will go on to build incredible things together, and that too will inspire a next generation of builders and creators and makers. It's you can sort of see it now in some sense, but it's going to be way more obvious in retrospect. So excited to commemorate today and this first cohort. With that, I'll pass it over to David.
Thank you. It. Thank you. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this from even before we actually figured out how this cohort was going to go live. Before we found, when we first found KP, we're like, the no-code demo day is going to just be an anchor event for this program, but also for the no-code movement, that is this change in how startups get founded. 10 years ago, you had to be an engineer to figure out how to use AWS, to figure out how to build your product, to be competitive, to get into YC, to do whatever the common wisdom was at the time. Today, that's not no longer true, and I think that unlocks so much more opportunity. The people who have the experience in industries, in at the front lines of different cultures, different places around the world, can suddenly build and test things. So this is what we're here for. This is leading into something that we're seeing in ODF so much. Like, people were finding that they could go out and they could start to raise pre-seed rounds and hire engineers to work on things that were proven, instead of having to convince someone to come in as a very expensive technical co-founder. And just so stoked to see what we have lined up today. Thank you, KP. Thank you, team, for all of your amazing work putting together. Everyone who's dialed in to participate, watching on streams around the world. Appreciate you taking the time out of your days as well. KP, take it away. I'm here for it.
Thank you so much. David has been always a big supporter of doing this public, doing this live from even before we started the cohort. So it's such a great feeling to see this come to life. if you have a few seconds, I want to bring on Jeff Morris Jr., JMJ. Sorry, we like to call him the early JMJ if he's still on. Okay, we may have a. All right, my team tells me that he's probably not here. He may be a little late, but thank you for the kind words from both of you. We're going to move on to our judging panel. We have a fantastic judging panel. I couldn't have been more stoked. We have a great round of judges. Anne Dwayne, co-founder and partner of Village Global. Lolita Taub, co-founder, general partner of the Community Fund. Emmanuel Strashnov, you heard from earlier, founder and co-CEO of Bubble. Alexa Mayer, co-founder and CEO at Koa. I mean, if you're all here, we want to go off mute for 10 seconds and tell us, how you feel about today and just the fellows in general.
Super excited to be here. Hi, Lolita from the Community Fund. We invest in community-driven companies, pre-seed and seed. So shout me out if you're one of them. Super excited to be here. I'm also an On Deck Fellow with the Community Builders program. So excited about that and just look forward to hearing more of the awesome companies that we have to talk about today.
Thank you so much, Lolita. Anybody else? And if you're here.
Congratulations on building. I mean, this is such an exciting milestone day, and congratulations for being in the first group.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, go ahead, Emmanuel.
No, I mean, I already talked and said hi to everyone. So just wanted to reiterate that I'm very happy to be here and look forward to seeing everything that people have built.
Hey everyone, I'm Alexa. Koa is the world's first gym for mental health. And I'm really excited just to see the ingenuity of everything that you've built here. As someone who's used no-code tools myself, I'm super impressed just pumping through your landing pages and really excited to hear you all walk through what you've built. So congratulations.
Excellent. Awesome. So now we get to the best part. Okay, just a few slides and I'll promise you'll get to the first page. Just to sort of level set the expectations, the criteria today on which the judges would be scoring the 12 pitches are going to be around idea, demo, progress, polish, and wildcard. We were intentional in trying to not include things like market size or TAM because they're, again, too early and this is, it's not the right place and time for that. The time for each pitch would be 3 minutes. We have a couple of pitches that are, there's two fellows for the pitch, like they're partnered up. And even though it's going to be still 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes Q&A time from judges. So everybody knows the rules just so that we're on the same page. Prize categories, some exciting prizes here. We got second runner-up prize out of the 12 today. And the actual prize is going to be On Deck swag. There's apparently hot demand for On Deck swag and jackets, which is something that I'm wearing right now. That would be, one of the prizes along with, of course, AirPods Pro. The runner-up prize would be, again, On Deck swag, along with Bose headphones. The best demo day project, the number one project for the day, would have $2,000 in credit to join any other On Deck fellowship. Granted, you have to be accepted into that. But that's the prizes. And we also have additional prizes we're going to talk about at the end from our partners. Like I said, we're going to have Bubble and Glide and Zeno announce their own prizes. Just to sort of give a little glimpse, those prizes were picked across the cohort. So if you don't see any of them from today, it's because they've been pre-selected across the whole cohort, not just the 12 who are presenting today. Okay, and then for everybody tuning in, you can also vote. It's kind of like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire moment, I guess. Like you can vote for your favorite no-code project. There's a crowd favorite, and then of course instructions will be in our Zoom chat. Last minute logistics. Make some noise in the Zoom chat. I know it's blowing up. I haven't even looked. I can already see the notifications on my right. Please tweet your favorite projects and the fellows. Give them some love on Twitter with the hashtag ODNC1 and tag Beyond Deck, which is our Twitter handle, and make a note of your favorite entries so we can vote for them at the end. And after the pitches, judges will have a break, a little deliberation time, so you can vote for crowd favorites, and they'll come back and we'll announce the prizes. And to kick us off on the first ever No-Code Demo Day event, we're going to have Phil Laken present.
Hello.
Take it away, Phil.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Cool. And everyone can see me okay?
Yes.
Great. Here we go. So, hi, my name is Philip Laken. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Propulsion Lab. So, Propulsion Lab is the world's first managed marketplace dedicated to deploying no and low code solutions in the enterprise. So who does it help? We help clients, so non-technical teams at 100-person plus companies with no dev support for internal tooling, which I've been one of several times before, and freelancers, so people with full-time roles who are using no and low code products during their day that are looking for side work based on their skills. And so the problem that we're facing here and the struggle that we're solving for is clients on this front, like these growing companies, need their non-technical teams need cost-effective ways to do this. So right now they're just relegated to places like Upwork, where they have to deal with a ton of freelancers, or they have to go all the way up to the big, Accenture and Deloitte's of the world, and it has a huge price tag. So we're much more flexible. And on the freelance side, it's people who want side work but don't actually want to publicly market themselves. We do all of the interaction with the client for them, so they never have to directly interact with the client. And yeah, so we're solving it for both sides. This is what our platform looks like. We white labeled it on a client portal application to no-code solution called Moxtra. And I'm going to give you a quick little demo here. Hey, everybody. Phil and Izzy from Propulsion Lab here. Say, hey, buddy. Good enough for a 4-month-old, I'll take it. So this is our demo. So if the client logs in, they can see all in one place any links that we provide to them that can be helpful. For instance, like a sprint board that we create for them on Trello. Right now we just have our website here as a link. They have their chats with their workflow architects where everything lives inside of. So they want to make an update to a process. They want to kick off a new process. Everything's done within here. They can even mark things up, which is really helpful. And then any meetings we have coming up, they can also. Cool. If you have time, I'm just going to go ahead to the next. Hey, everybody. Phil and Izzy from slide. Here we go. So we are currently finalizing contracts with Clear and Coinbase that will be totaling $240K in ARR. We're a subscription-only platform. We don't do one-off projects. We have a newsletter that we built with over 400 no-coders that all want to talk to each other about cool, dorky operational stuff that we love. We sold out our first community cohort with 10 paid community members in under 48 hours. That's our no-code ops brand. We also obtained paid sponsorship through no-code API, and we're in talk to some other folks on this front. For that newsletter. And we just opened up our pre-seed round last week. We've received multiple commitments and term sheets and closing that out on Friday. This is our stack. We use Moxtra as our white label client portal, Webflow, Airtable, Zapier, MailerLite, and Calendly, and would love to answer any of your questions about the future of no code in the enterprise.
I'll dive in. Can you talk a little bit about how talent sets their rates in the marketplace and how you think about that?
Yeah, so we wanted to remove that completely from the equation. So we actually set it and level it for them because the way they never actually directly interact with the client, so they never have to compete against each other. We just divide up and give them the work as a managed marketplace. So they're at set rates.
I'd like to know a little bit about your competition and how you see your differentiation standing.
Yeah. So on the one side, you can go to freelance marketplaces and try to manage the freelancers on your own, right? The problem is you got to then get one person that can do all of the things and no teams come out of the box. Whereas with us, the team comes out of the box, and even if we change people in the background, all the documentation is there for you. Everything's happening through our portal, and you only ever have one point of interaction, which is really nice. So even if you have a team of 10 folks freelancing for you at any time, you're only talking to one person. And then the Deloittes and Accentures of the world, they're amazing, but they're very expensive. So mid-level companies aren't typically working with them.
How are you thinking about vetting the quality of the people on the platform as you scale?
Awesome question. So my co-founder built and sold the first no-code educational platform. So education is going to be a big part of what we do. So we'll have free courses out there that people can take. If they pass eventually, We can give them projects and then peer QA within our community. And that's how we bring people into the community. So through free training and accreditation in the space.
In your experience, what kind of projects are your clients using no code for?
Yeah, so for Clear, we're doing employee onboarding for all of their employees. And for Coinbase, we're doing everything from business orchestration all the way to vendor management. So any tool that's internal that a developer doesn't want to touch because it's not part of the core product.
Excellent. That was right on time. Phil, bringing in heat. I forgot mentioning the location where he's joining from. So he's in Atlanta. To give a good sense of where everyone's joining from, I'm going to make sure that I include the city or the country. So up next is Shiku Wangombe from Nairobi, Kenya. Her presentation is about Pesa Note. Take it away, Shiku.
All right, thanks, KP. So budgeting is hard, and yet there are a ton of budgeting tools in the market. The problem is a lot of these tools are so feature rich, they feel bloated and complicated. What's more, these tools don't solve a problem that I and many people in this part of the world have, which is accounting for mobile money expenses. That's why I created Pesa Note. It's an incredibly simple app that allows users to account for their card, cash, and mobile money expenses directly on their phone. I made it primarily with mobile money users in mind because accounting for mobile money expenses is such a grind. This is what the current process looks like. You go to a store where you pay for your goods or services using your mobile money account. And then you receive a text message confirmation with your transaction details and a lot of other information you do not need. You filter out what's relevant and put that into your spreadsheet or budgeting tool manually every single day. And this is how Pesa Note works. You start by creating an account, and then you define your monthly budget as well as your currency. You then select the expense sources that are relevant to you, and if you have a mobile money account, you're prompted to input your phone number. Once that's done, you can further refine your budget by inputting categories and creating amounts for those categories until your entire budget has been allocated. Once this step is complete, you'll be prompted to upload a profile picture to personalize the app, and then you're done with onboarding. You can see the categories you created under the Categories tab inside the app, and you can start to add expenses. When you're adding expenses, you select a source, you input the amount, and then you pick a category out of the ones you created. You can also input a transaction fee if it's a mobile money expense. That transaction will then appear under your recent transactions, and your budget will be updated to reflect it. You can also input recurring transactions for things such as rent, so that doesn't have to be a manual process every single time. Also under the categories section, you'll find a progress bar that shows you how much of what you've allocated to a particular category has been spent. And if you've gone over budget, that will also be indicated there with a warning. So the progress for this build began in January when I joined ODNC and started learning Bubble. In February, I completed an MVP and began testing. And in March, I completed an app redesign in the beta version of the app. I'm currently testing it with about 10 users onboarded and some more on a waitlist. I haven't done any marketing push as of yet. Most of the people have come through Twitter and building in public. The project was also recognized by a financial educator who's interested in licensing or white labeling it for their community of about 150 people. What's still to come is figuring out API integrations that can automate the process of taking the data from your text messages and automatically logging those as expenses within the budgeting app. And the no-code stack is really simple. So far, it's just Figma for design and Bubble for the build. Thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation. A quick question around the market. If you could tell us what the market is, and then second question is really around your go-to-market.
Sure. So right now in Kenya, there's, I think, over 24 million mobile money users. The main service provider is a company called Safaricom, and they have about 98% or more of the market share. And they do about 12.2 billion transactions, over 48 billion US dollars every year. And so there's a huge market, and it's a pretty typical tool that a lot of people use. Outside of Kenya, there's also other countries that have their own version of mobile money transacting applications. And what was the second question?
Go to market. How are you going to get your customers?
Yeah, so one of the things the first thing that I've been doing and it actively. I've also gotten a lot of interest there of people who are interested in further promoting the app. The other thing I was thinking of was implementing advertisements either on Facebook or taking part in or posting posts in Facebook groups to help, posting in Facebook groups to help increase awareness. That's what I was trying to say. And there's particular Facebook groups for people who are Kenyan or for people who are money conscious, etc. And I think that will be relevant.
Okay, if you don't have any further questions, I'll say thank you to Shiku and move on to our next presenter. But judges, feel free to interrupt me if I'm talking over if you ever had a question. All right, cool. So up next would be Sneak Peek. That's the project name. That's not the person's name. And the presenter is Marcus Waxenerid. I got this right, Marcus. From Sweden. Take it away, Marcus.
That's perfect, KP. Okay, thank you. What a wonderful time to start a business. Thanks to no code, we now have millions, maybe billions of makers and creators who now have the tools to turn their passion into a business. And that's why I'm here. My passion is helping indie creators and makers with anything from going from zero to finding an audience all the way to getting those first 100 customers and true fans. And right in the middle here, there's always a big problem. How do I separate the good ideas from the bad? And it's funny to hear that Jeff Morris Jr. is in the audience today, because I love this quote by him where if you can convert users to paying for something that is not fully ready, that's the ultimate sign of respect that you're solving a real problem. And I love this specifically because this really sums up our product. Sneak Peek helps you validate ideas in minutes by putting them to the ultimate test, email signups and pre-orders. Let me show you how it works. So in Sneak Peek, you create a new project, you get the template project served up, you go in and start editing the copy. So let's do a no-code beginner's course here as an example. When you're done with all your text, you can go in and customize the experience by uploading a header image, and that will automatically pick the color palette from your image and use that to basically style up your page. So you don't have to worry about design. You just toggle through nice colors. And if you're not happy, you just swap the color or the header image and your experience totally changes with it. Then when it comes to validation, we have signups and pre-orders. Let's do pre-order here. You go in, enter the cost and the messaging and stuff, and then that shows up on your product page, and the user can go in and purchase your product. And of course, you can shout from the rooftops about your product, share it on Twitter, etc. And then you can head to your profile page where you see all your products, your testing, and you have all the validation stats, the pre-orders, the signups, the conversion rates, etc. And in the last 10 weeks, we've gone from a few prototypes and 0 users to now 82 beta users and almost 300 people on the waiting list. And what our beta users love so far is the simplicity of it. Normally, I'd need a domain, Notion, Super, MailChimp, and Gumroad. Now I just need Sneak Peek. And what they want going forward is more engagement between the creator and early believers. So this is a little sneak peek, if you like, of where we're taking the product next, idea-based micro communities. And to practice what we preach, we've launched 4 or validated 4 of our own products on the platform in these last 10 weeks. And Launch OS, the course, is now graduating from the platform as we're launching the real product to the public today. And other fellow On Deck members are also testing and validating their ideas on the platform. And the curiosity is starting to build up on Twitter. People want to hear more about it. And the no-code stack, you heard it, bubble, period. I'm doing this with the man, the myth, the legend, Hjalmar, and we're open for questions. Thank you.
I have 2 questions. One is, are you helping the creators drive traffic to their projects, or are you relying on them to do that themselves? And the second part is, have you thought about what the revenue model is?
Yeah, traffic, the simple answer is no. We're not focusing on traffic at the moment. We're focusing on helping creating pages of your product that people want to be part of and want to engage with. So it's a little bit more, it's more helpful at the moment for people who has a bit of an audience already to get traction. And the business model we're experimenting with at the moment, it's a $3.99 subscription fee for people who want to move beyond just email signups to taking pre-orders, or people who want to validate more than one project. Then you go on the paid plan. But it's still experimental. It's early days.
Have you thought about distribution here? How are you thinking about getting people to use your tool?
I think one, not that much, but to be honest, but one model is that we want to make the...
It took me 9 years to figure this out.
We want to make the actual content, like your ideas, beautiful and clear and sharp. So you want to share them, so you want to talk about them. So they would be distributed and shared like that and bring people to the platform. But beyond that, I mean, we've had many discussions, but nothing concrete at the moment.
I mean, I think a social approach would be pretty cool here. When people share that to get feedback, if you can keep in a non-invasive way a link to your tool, I think that could be pretty powerful, actually.
Yeah.
Like a cheap way to acquire users.
Yeah, cool.
Excellent. Marcus, that was awesome. If anybody missed out, Marcus actually used a no-code tool called Bubble to create a no-code tool called Sneak Peek. And that was some meta move right there. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next presenter, it would be Sandy Lin from Boston, and she's going to present SBT Igniter Hub. Take it away, Sandy.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I'm Sandy, and I'm the founder of Small Business Tips. Okay, let's get into it. So our project is called the Igniter Hub, which is the go-to community e-learning community platform for Gen Z entrepreneur looking for anything related to business resource, network, events, and community building. Okay, so what are we trying to solve? When I first started out my first business at 19, I was so lonely, intimidated, and stressful without any resources, mentor, or guidance. And I don't want anyone to be in my shoes ever again. So that's why we came up with the Igniter Hub, which aimed to connect all these amazing young aspiring entrepreneurs to industry leader like yourself, resources, and supportive community to make the road of entrepreneurship less lonely. Okay, now next slide, I'm going to showcase a little bit of what includes and what is our feature. Hello everyone. Okay, so here's a little tutorial of how to navigate around the Proto. This is a landing page. Now I'm going to go to the home page, outlining all the different features, going into the e-learning Proto segment. You can filter it by different category, by level. We have partnered up with tons of different people on here. Let's go into over here, start your courses. You can mark as complete. You can like the course. You can also browse other courses as well, collapse if you want to. And then here are some of our partners company. Then you go into the partners round, and then you can see all the amazing listen of our partners. Going to community, which is connected to Circle, bring you right onto community. Going on to event, outline all the upcoming events and also past event that we have done with someone else. And then you can go ahead and register if you would like to and send it to your email. And that completes all of our amazing Protos. Awesome. So on the spirit of building in public, we already generated over 1,000 people on our wait list waiting to go. And then we also utilize build in public and actually ask our people, what is the pricing structure that you want to see, and ask it on our Instagram poll. Our landing page is chosen by our user, and people are just waiting to get into our Proto. And up next, we have over 400K plus on our social media present, 40K on our Instagram, 350K on TikTok, and we have curated over 6K on our email subscriber list as well. In our build, the hero is, of course, Bubble, and Circle for our community, Stripe for our payment method, and VMO for our video hosting. And that sums up my entire presentation. Thank you guys so much.
Sandy, great energy. My question to you is around scaling and thinking about how do you build this to be a huge, huge business. And maybe to make it simple, what's your vision of where your company goes?
Yeah, so the goal is to drive enough subscriber to validate this first idea of people actually need this e-learning hub, and then accompany with a community as well. Then our plan is to open source. So we allow our community and our creators to actually monetize within the community itself. So people can create their courses within here and generate revenue based off of people can book their calls onto their profile. They can also generate revenue based off of how many views they generated within their videos. And then they can go to our community tab and then interact with their actual audience and followers, which is crazy because a lot of other e-learning platform doesn't have this combination both.
Okay.
Actually, in terms of progress, you haven't shared your timeline. When did you start working on this, and how far have you come along since the beginning of the fellowship?
Yeah, so we started building everything on 10th of January this year, and then we completed everything literally 2 weeks ago, and we already onboarded about 50 beta user onto our community already.
Cool. Congrats.
Thank you.
And did you have a question? I see you smiling.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, what have you learned about the calls to action that bring people in? Is it specific content or the general call to action?
It is continuously built in public and bringing along these audience onto a journey so they can feel like they're building this product with you. So they funnel in naturally. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thanks for the questions, judges. If I could pick somebody to be a walking advertisement of building public, it would be Sandy, clearly. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next pitching duo, we have Whit Anderson from Atlanta and Ash Wesley from Leeds, UK, presenting the project Elon Stocks. Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Whit and this is Ash, and today we're showcasing Elon Stocks. A little backstory on the product is Ash and I run a product studio called Bad Unicorn that launches bad business ideas every other Friday. For this product, we have to go back to the first week of ODNC, which was all the Wall Street bets and Reddit investing drama that was going on. During this week, Elon Musk was tweeting about stocks a lot, and we noticed this trend. When he tweets about a stock, the stock price usually shoots up. With 44 hours until our next drop, we knew we had to act fast. So we built this. The product's super simple. All you do is put your phone number in, and every single time Elon Musk tweets about a stock, you'll receive a text.
Yeah, so your first question probably is like, how does this make money? Well, we've got a monthly subscription going. It starts at $10 a month. We created this for like the next generation of retail investors. So think like the Wall Street Bets community, the Robinhood community, where there's over 20 million daily active users. And essentially this product helps them cut through all the noise out there online. It's kind of like investor or like insider trading, but legal in this case. We had some like really excited fans. One of them who created this TikTok, so we thought we'd share this with all of you.
Anytime that Elon tweets about a stock or a coin, the graph usually spikes up. In 15 hours using these tools, this person built a company that texts you every single time that Elon mentions a stock in his tweet. You don't have to know how to code in order to build a cool site.
So like a lot of people presenting today, we've had like a few technical challenges, but with a little bit of custom code and just like upgrading our no code accounts, we're able to overcome them. The real exciting bit has actually been all the traction to date. So I'm gonna pass it over to Whit for that.
Yeah, so like we start all our drops, we send it out to our newsletter audience and also drop it on Twitter, where we saw a little bit of love. That night, Elon Musk actually hopped on Clubhouse with the founder of Robinhood. And so we knew we had to act fast, which is why we dropped it on Product Hunt the next day. We ended up getting the #2 product of the day, got an upvote from Ryan Hoover, and even got featured in the Product Hunt newsletter. After that, we got some luck when some TikTok creators decided to make videos about Elon Stocks, which combined for over 200,000 views. And then even beyond that, we got a little bit of press, which was we got an article written about us in Hypebeast, which had over 16,000 impressions, and we got mentioned in a Bloomberg opinion piece. I'll pass it over to Ash for the hard numbers.
Yeah, so where are we all at to date? Well, we've had over 9,000 SMS signups, 40,000 page views. And again, just like doing the math, that's a pretty good conversion rate on the website itself. That's turned into 150 paid subscribers. And then that's resulted in $700 of monthly recurring revenue. We're at over 1,200 in revenue to date, and then 4,000 email subscribers eager to hear what's next. So all this wouldn't have been possible in the time frame that we did it with traditional code. But using no code, we were able to build our MVP for only $11 in less than 44 hours. So next steps, we're looking at brand partnerships, brand ambassadors, and re-engagement campaign.
Thanks everyone for listening. We're open to any questions you may have.
I just signed up, so I'm super excited about this. Thank you for building it. I see you have other investors that are coming soon on the platform. And with what you've built, have you thought about other use cases that this technology might be useful for?
Yeah. When all this was happening, Elon Musk, his tweets were had impacted the stock price the most. So we had people in mind like Chamath or like even the Wall Street Bets, Reddit community in general. They don't push the needle as much. When we launched it, we wanted to figure out if there's more services we can make. The more we looked at the trend lines, didn't make a lot of sense to build something else. But with Elon, there's a bunch of opportunities to build like WhatsApp groups or even do certain reports on some of the stocks he is tweeting about. So that's kind of how we look at it.
It's like a digital shrine for Elon.
Yeah, this is, so you guys get the trophy for creativity. This is hilariously creative. My question, I think Elisa is, a VC in the making here. What if Elon shuts his Twitter down? And actually, I'm more curious about the liability as well as you see the company grow. Is it Elon? Is it something else?
Yeah, definitely. So we actually were a bit worried about this. I think actually it was even a few days after we launched, Elon said he was going to take a break from Twitter, and we already had 6,000 followers at this point. So we're like, oh no, what do we do? But I don't think he could help himself. I think it was less than 48 hours and he was back on Twitter tweeting again. And I think he's just such a magnetic personality online. If he went off Twitter, his followers would chase him around the internet. So they're going to be wanting to find out what he's wanting to say either way. But yeah, like Whit was saying, combination of insider kind of media and trading around stocks, and then other influencers as well can kind of build up a media platform, just sending out information to our subscriber list.
Yeah, and as far as oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so you're thinking Elon is one character, but then you bring on others, and so that's how you expand?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. And then as far as liability, we have terms and conditions where it's none of this is trading advice. It's we're just trying to give you information where you can make a better decision.
Love that. Awesome. If anybody didn't catch both of them in their attire today as almost representing Wall Street Bets, it looks like. Thank you. That was excellent. Great questions. Moving on to the next presenter, it would be Toby Allen from the UK, but he's currently living in Belgium, if I'm not wrong. So representing new countries there. His project is Acquire Me. Take it away, Toby.
Cool. Thanks, KP. So let's get started. Right. Guys, this is the day. I am super, super pumped. Why? Well, I can finally announce that Elon Musk has just bought Elon stocks from Bad Unicorn through Acquire Me. That's literally why I have the champagne out here. This is awesome, right? So what is Acquire Me? It's the third venture from Startup Mill that we've launched at ODNC after Club Recorder and the PM Toolkit. The concept is super simple, right? You start your journey at ODNC, you get your 100 fans, your 100 first customers. You basically build in public using Microbrave, another of the startups that you'll see next. You might have a product hunt launch that's going to be awesome. But what's the end game here, right? So the end game, get acquired by Acquire Me. So we help entrepreneurs basically find those micro SaaS projects, the low code ventures, and get introduced to them directly. Why? Well, because it's so hard to find really good quality projects. And so what we do is that we basically reduce the failed amount of deals by vetting the projects first and the sellers. And we know that people are interested in this because they're looking for bubble projects directly to buy. They're interested in the accuracy of information or having vetted projects themselves, right? So this is super important. This is some of the research that we've done. So let me show you a little preview of what's going to happen and what's to come. So this is the original landing page that we have. It's very rough and ready, but it allows you to sign up. You join in directly into a view where you get private listings, which you have on the side, and you have public listings like Club Recorder, which is the project that I launched, which makes money, is great, but I don't want to keep it forever. So I'm potentially going to look at selling it. Elon Stocks is on there. So let's dive into Club Recorder for a second. So what's going to happen is that you see the asking price, you see some of the key information, some of the updates, that sort of stuff. You can contact me as a seller. So I get all the information. Now, if you go into a private listing, I, as a seller, need to allow you as a buyer to get access to that information so that I can see who you are and make a really good deal. So our progress, well, everything starts off with a great domain, acquire me, got it early on, basically been building traction ever since. And so now we're launching our MVP very soon. And fundamentally, our traction has just been skyrocketing when I look at the analytics since the other day. More and more sellers, more and more buyers on the platform, built on an epic stack of Bubble with Zeno, which I love, Stripe for the payments. And yeah, next bits are effectively building more momentum, getting our MVP launch, getting our first 100 acquisitions through the platform. That's acquire me in 3 minutes. Sign up, contact me. Happy to answer some questions.
Can you talk about your business model? How you're going to monetize taking a cut on transactions, I guess?
Actually, no, I'm not at the start. So the beginning part is just going to be purely membership based. I'm going to try and explore some different alternative models where I'm actually going to empower the experts in the industry to be leveraged by buyers to basically say, hey, I want to buy a business that's based on Bubble. Cool. Who's a Bubble expert that I could hire for an hour, pay directly through the platform, and basically get a bit of extra due diligence on those purchases, right? I think there's a lot of value in that space, especially with the complexity of understanding how no code sort of all stacks up together, basically.
How do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Thanks, Alexa. Toby, how do you think about, okay, so I want to acquire a business on there.
Yep.
Then how do I make sure that it's mine now after I submit my payment?
So that's the challenge, right? And one of the first things that we do is actually we're focusing on connecting you, right? We're not brokering the deal for you. I will be exploring potentially doing transactions through escrow as an API. But right now, as a sort of the stepping stone is just the connections. We'll explore doing due diligence with experts being the validators and helping you out and helping you get the right access to the right kind of information, Stripe access, API keys, that sort of stuff, and then sort of help you execute that afterwards at a later stage.
Okay. If there's no further questions, great job, Toby. I want to also wish you a happy birthday because I know it's your birthday today. Thank you for doing this on your birthday. And Toby also is a new dad. We watched him in the last 4 days, I think, build in public while, getting ready for this pitch. So kudos to your dedication. Just a brief notice. I know we have another, set of pitches coming up, but just wanted to pause here and give you an opportunity to, if you're watching this, to please go on Twitter and support these fellows, because I'm hearing a lot of you blowing up the Zoom chat, but please, a lot of you are watching on Twitch, go on Twitter, hashtag ODNC1, give these people so much love, because frankly, after watching all these already in showcase sessions, I'm blown away because they're making a lot of changes and updates, and their pitches are definitely much better than what I saw. So yeah, please go on Twitter and give them some love. Having said that, moving on to our next presenter, duo again, Glenn McQuinney and Mark Bowley from the UK. The project is Microbrave.
Cool. Thank you, KP. Hello, everybody. So, Glenn and Mark here. We'll be introducing you to Microbrave today. First of all, how many of you build in public or have tried building in public? And how many of you find that easy? Within the On Deck community, fellows are there to support each other with ideas and feedback on their products or startups. But what about all the other makers and founders who don't have amazing people on tap to inspire them?
Enter Microbrave, a toolkit to inspire independent makers and founders new to the build in public way of life and help them overcome the anxiety, even fear of starting their journey. Let's have a look at Microbrave in action.
So once you're signed up and logged in, you see your dashboard containing a set of Microbrave templates grouped into categories to make it easier to browse the different styles of build in public posts. As we add more templates, we'll introduce features here like filtering and search. But for now, I like the look of this one. So I'll just select it, which then opens the Inline Editor, allowing me to change the text, add emojis, check the character count, just like I would in Twitter. I can also view the tips to the right to help me write my post and see some real in the wild examples below from Build in Public pros on Twitter, like Build in Public guy himself, KP, who has a good example here of a post like this. So I'm getting confidence from that. When I'm happy with my edits, I press the copy button and I hop over to Twitter to tweet fearlessly.
Since go live 4 weeks ago, we've had sign-ups on both the free early adopter plan as well as the paid plan. We share our metrics openly on the website, encourage people to use the live demo, and as of today, people can enjoy a full access 10-day free trial. The toolkit is being used daily by our members who've shown great loyalty to the idea and to the brand, even coming up with their own tweet sign-offs like powered by Microbrave and #BeMicrobrave.
We identified our minimum viable audience early on from conversations in our cohort and via our Twitter accounts, and felt that Microbrave, even in its MVP form, could really help people, but we needed some evidence. Immediately, we received a ton of feedback, which confirmed that this toolkit was definitely helping to solve people's pain points, like Carrie's post here about getting comfortable with this style of working, for example.
We hoped for 100 early adopters, but we shot past that figure and to date have signed up 430 people. That means from our 4,400 unique visitors, we've converted almost 10%. We now have 20 users on the paid plan too, and our MRR currently stands at just under $100.
So Microbrave was originally a team effort, conceived and built from the ground up on the Global Build Weekend. So shout out to our team there. Oops, went forward. Which won us the prestigious Best No Code Build Award as well. Despite Mark and I having other capstone projects already at that point, we felt that we owed it to our audience and ourselves to explore Microbrave more deeply. So phase 2 is also now underway.
Webflow, Outsetter, Airtable, and Power Importer make up the core stack, and we've also used products like Shoutout and Base Boosters to support fellow makers and founders.
Thank you all for listening, and let's pause for questions.
Very cool. I see this being immediately useful for new entrepreneurs, and I've been there too. It can be very scary and vulnerable. How are you thinking about retention of the people that you bring onto the platform as they get more comfortable building, sharing, and as they have progress in their business?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're not overly worried about churn because the hope is that more and more people will come on all the time, and actually you only want to keep people around that you can help. So we will keep adding more and more value. It just won't be these templates. It will be other things as well. We're looking at launching one of these micro communities and actually getting people talking together, having AMAs, mastermind groups, whatever we can to actually help people along on their journey with this.
All right. If there's no further questions, I'm going to move to the next presenter duo. Well, actually, not a duo. Thank you, Glenn and Mark.
Thank you.
Definitely enjoyed your puns at the end. Moving on to our next presenter, it's going to be Rebecca Goris from Berlin, Germany, and her project is Remy.
Awesome. Can you see my screen? Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm so stoked to be here today. I'm Rebecca. I'm the co-founder of Remy. Let me actually start with a question. How many of you are struggling with building and maintaining connection when working remotely? Well, you're not alone. In the past months, we spoke to more than 100 teams, and more than 80% of them agreed that when working remotely, building connection and culture is a huge challenge for them. And we don't want to accept that this is the reason companies don't go remote. And that's why we've made it our mission to make remote work more human and connected. Remy is a culture building platform that helps remote teams build connection through powerful rituals. You should think of Remy as your additional team member that helps you curate, facilitate, and optimize the right social interactions for your team. And here's a little demo. Please excuse the audio. I hope it's all right. You can actually hear it. So basically, we're basically using rituals from a library of activities. This is a temperature check. You start in Slack, then you end up here. You give your daily team temperature, and you can also give some context if you like. So here, I'm excited to be here today. You submit your entry. Then you're taken to the team space. So you're obviously also already in the web app. And this is just an overview of the team space where all the experience, the team experience takes place. And here you can see I'm scrolling through all the different rituals. I can also leave a comment if I want. And this provides basically a basis for interaction between team members or reactions to the rituals. And also, this is a team weather. It's our way of including little nudges to proactively create a sense of connection for teams. And then the last little feature I want to show you is basically not just a user profile, but our manual of me, which is really there to help teams get a better sense for each other on the basis of things like introvert versus extrovert, why I joined the company, how I can do my best work, how you can help me do my best work, how I can help you, that kind of stuff. Ooh. So in terms of progress, we have built our website, launched a waitlist. We had 300 signups within 2 weeks. We recruited amazing pilot customers for our MVP, amongst them Giant, GitLab, Typeform, Hotjar, Get Your Guide. We built and iterated the MVP in Bubble. We got lots of love from customers and press, including a shout out, a startup of the day on International Women's Day by Deutsche Startup. We are now raising our pre-seed, already have commitments from amazing angels, amongst them Georgie Smallwood from Tier. This is our stack, but I have to say that Bubble has been our hero all along. And I want to say thank you very much, and please join the waitlist.
Well done, Rebecca. Can you talk about who on a team usually adopts you and how you're getting the word out?
So typically, we're coming in via the team lead and sometimes also via HR. How we've gotten the word out so far has really been organic. So we just basically posted our waitlist on Twitter and LinkedIn and got great response. Moving on, we want to continue with basically founder-led sales, but also look into communities such as Slack channels. There are lots of interesting ones, Slack communities, such as remote communities, HR communities, and so on.
Do you have a target customer? As in, are you going out for startups, for SMBs, for enterprise? How are you thinking about the customer?
So not startups, not enterprise, everything in between. So basically scale-ups that have a need for culture. So they're pretty much starting at size 60 plus, and they're realizing we actually need someone or something to help us manage culture. Otherwise, things are going to get out of control. And especially in a remote context, this is even more important because there you really have the need to build culture really proactively and intentionally. And yeah, of course, tech companies, because those are the ones that are remote.
Have you explored some partnerships to try to acquire users? It feels like there might be opportunities with people.
Yeah. So we actually have Michael Kunz from Personio on our advisory board. And he's a very natural partner and multiplier. I don't know if you know them, but they're basically Germany's latest unicorn, and they're an HR platform. So they basically just have our user base, and yeah, we're working with them already.
Right, HR platform would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome.
So impressive build, I have to say. Very cool.
Thank you very much.
It looks stunning. Thank you. All right. So moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Cisa Yeses, all the way from up north in Canada. And her pitch is about Pinky. Take it away, Cisa.
Thank you, KP. So this one's for the ones still looking for the one. Get some sugar from your mattress without giving them your address. Start a sugar binge with that baddie from Hinge. Flex, but stay humble. Treat your honey from Bumble. Hi, I'm Sisa. I'm a chronic dating app user, and I'm absolutely the target market for Pinky. Pinky is not a dating app. It's a gifting service that is a companion to dating and patron apps. Pinky is a promise that will keep your address safe from your flings, friends, followers, fans that want to spoil you, not stalk you. The sender chooses a treat for you on our app. You receive a link from us to enter your address, and it'll be our little secret. We'll deliver the goods right to you. People respecting your privacy shouldn't be hard, but it is. So there's nothing sexier than being safe while getting spoiled. Pinky creates an extra layer of safety for users, especially women in the LGBT+ community, because for them, it's Jumanji out there. So how does it work? Pinky lubricates the process to have minimal friction. Your match sends you a Pinky code through any dating app that has a chat feature. You then go to our app, hit claim your gift, and enter the code in the app with your delivery address and select the delivery time. Of course, we keep that info between us and you get notified when it arrives. But how does the sender get a Pinky code in the first place? To send a gift, you can select and personalize items from our partners. We're starting off with food, possibly for virtual dates or just a long day. And once you hit pay, you receive a one-time claim code to share with your boo, and you only get one code per boo. Pinky came into my life last Thursday. I figured out the logistics of delivery, partnerships to keep costs low, and how to make it more thoughtful. And the applications don't actually stop at dating and food. I published my waitlist on day 3. A Toronto foodie called me a baller, and that is what I aspire to be. I also got a retweet from TikTok's favorite sugar baby and got volunteer user testers from the sugaring community. As of today, I have 41 signups. Not to forget the support from Twitter. And on the weekend, I created version 1 for both the sender and the recipients in Glide. I pitched on Monday, found out that Tinder just invented in background check tech, did some user research. Most of my waiting list were burner emails, which is SOP for dating, but we know people care about protecting their identity. I also learned how they were doing it before Pinky. On Reddit, someone said I should go to sugar baby jail. Jokes on him, that's also my target market. And for as long as women exist, regardless of their profession or preference, they need protection. This prompted me to find the right communities that aren't as toxic as Reddit, and also booking calls with experts on cyberstalking and violence towards women. I got a little feature in a feminist publication. My no-code stack is Webflow and Glide. I glued it together with MailChimp, Stripe and Zaps, and Design and Miro, Figma, and the Noun Project. So remember, safety is sexiest, privacy is hottest. Step up your Tinder game and swipe with your Pinky instead.
Okay, so my question has to be, can you tell us a little bit more about the sugar market? Because this is a very new space for me, but I'm very curious after hearing you rap and tell us about what you're building.
That's awesome. Well, as far as I know, okay, let's go straight to OnlyFans. OnlyFans is the Muse model, and it actually generates like 3 to 4 times the revenue that other content creators platforms like Twitch does. So I want to get in on that. No more questions.
Any more questions? I'm sorry.
I could do a follow-up. I'll do a follow-up. Okay, so is what your hypothesis is that as OnlyFans and this culture within this ecosystem grows, that sugar babies are going to increase, sugar daddies? I don't know the lexicon, but it's all of this, like what you're seeing is culturally, this is where the culture is heading. And so the Pinky is going to increasingly be something that is adopted, that alternatively was done in all these weird ways, and you're just making it simple. Is that kind of the basis?
Well, the basis is really protection. Like, I don't have to be a sugar baby to receive gifts. People are virtually dating on the apps, even before the pandemic. And like, people have been, using crazy logistics. Like, someone orders from a restaurant and then someone picks it up like at a different time. But definitely, like, people have been like more open to receiving gifts. People are putting their Venmo accounts on their profiles, Patreon, and it's not just limited to dating and sugar babies. It can be for creators, streamers, if you want to treat a colleague you met on the internet, and corporate, if that happens. But there's a lot of applications for this tech too.
Amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cisa. Lolita, you're not alone. I also felt very confused about some of the words, but I just ran with it. This is apparently Gen Z, and we just got to get on with it. I'm just kidding. This was so wholesome to watch Cisa execute in the last, like she said, since the last Thursday. And her research focus has been mind-blowing, just the way she talked to users and just iterated very quickly. Moving on to whoever is going to present next. I feel sorry for you. I'm just kidding. Zach, I know you're going to crush it. Zach.
What a lead in. Oh my
Zachary
God.
King from all the way Australia. His pitch is Mobius. Take it away, Zach.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, no code fans. G'day from Melbourne. Let's get ready after that amazing pitch. Let's go niche. So every year, 1.4 million Australians undergo guided injection therapy. And if you're lucky enough not to know what that is, it's where a radiologist gets a giant needle full of corticosteroids. They jam it into one of your joints and they use X-ray or ultrasound to make sure that they're hitting the right spot. But unfortunately, the feedback mechanism is broken. And so what that means is while only currently 5% of patients come back for follow-up treatment, 20% of patients actually should. And so that means there's that delta of 15% who go untreated and remain in pain. And so that translates to more than 200,000 patients every year just in Australia who remain in pain. So Mobius systematically tracks and identifies this cohort of patients. It's an AI-powered patient tracking and engagement platform that uses SMS to track patient responses, and it is 100% built in no-code. It's a tool for radiologists not just to improve patient outcomes, but also to increase revenue. Okay, so let's take a look. Starting from the Mobius website, which has company and product info, clients can log in, which gives them access to three main pieces of functionality: add patient, patient data, and their account details. Using just 4 pieces of information, a patient can be added to the platform: patient mobile number, name, procedure date, and consent. Once a patient is added, they will receive a series of 6 text messages over the corresponding month, and they simply need to respond with a number between 0 and 10, which correlates to their pain levels. This report is then compiled into a final report, which has a graph of pain over time, which is the most important clinical information for the radiologist. Through the online portal, clients can also access their patient procedure data directly. They can search by name and mobile number. They can also get the patient responses that come through in real time, as well as the final report if it's available. Further, our system has an AI layer which flags the 30% of patients which have identified as most likely to require follow-up. You can also filter for these reports directly, allowing clinicians to prioritize these reports first. Okay, so we've just finished our closed beta. We tracked patients in a live environment. We tracked about 70 patients, and the numbers look really, really good. So based on our current pricing, we would return more than 12 times the cost of the platform, and the patient engagement numbers are really high as well. So 99% of patient response rate, sorry. There's one guy called Dave who changed his number halfway through, so we're still trying to track him down and get our perfect record back. But most importantly, we got pre-sale approval. So 3 clients for 6 licenses, and as soon as we get through IT and procurement, we are good to go. So the Frankenstack behind this bad boy was very politely described by a CTO I showed it to as a Rube Goldberg machine. So you can see some, but look, this is the first thing that I built in, low code, no code, bro code, whatever. So I'm just very happy that it worked. Some classics of the genre at the top: Webflow, Airtable, Zapier, and Integromat. I use ClickSend, which is a Twilio competitor for the SMS. Outsetter, Stacker powers the client portal that you saw there, and Levity is the no-code AI tool that we use in the platform. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, my question is really around the sensitive information that you're kind of tracking. How are you thinking about making sure your boxes are checked there? Or maybe there's a way to get around it. I don't know. Just curious about that.
Yeah, totally. So we don't have HIPAA in Australia, but it's something similar. And one of the things that we have done quite strategically is not integrate with medical health records. And so patient data is judged on a spectrum. The only data that we have is PII, name, number, date of the operation, and a self-generated pain score from 1 to 10. So we keep it quite light on that front, but you do go to the very important point of data security. It's very hard to get HIPAA compliance with no-code tools. And in Australia, it's a little bit different. Data sovereignty is king. So we're trying to figure out a way to build a custom dashboard, maybe do an upgrade in the next round to make sure that data remains in the Australian AWS clusters.
How are you thinking about acquisition for this? Is the buyer the individual clinician, or do you have to sell at like the clinic level or a health infrastructure level?
Yeah, sure. So it's actually a combination of both. In Australia, the market is quite concentrated with radiology networks. So clinics roll up into radiology networks. The biggest three networks control about 55% of radiology clinics in Australia. So it tends to be a bottom-up. Here's a user who is a radiologist who's interested in patient outcomes. And then we talk to the radiology network C-levels, and they're like, yeah, patient outcomes, patient data. Tell me about the revenue uplift. Can you quantify that? And so it tends to be a combination of both. And so the client that we have approval to go ahead and test with is one of the largest in country. And so they will be $1 million client, multi-million-dollar client if we can scale them beyond the pilot.
Okay, awesome. Moving on. Thank you, Zach. That was excellent. You also sort of opened up an interesting use case, I think, for no-code tools to be HIPAA compliant. So I'm sure somebody who's listening to this Twitch or live stream is going to think about building that, so we don't have that problem. All right, moving on to our next presenter. It's going to be Kieran Ball from the UK. His project is Community Copilot. Take it away, Kieran.
Oh, hi, everyone. So I'm Kieran. You may have noticed that online communities are currently hot. The problem is they are also bloody hard. I know this because for 8 months I've been building a maker community called Launch MBA. The problem is, as the community grows, it becomes difficult to keep track of who's who. Everyone is different. Quiet members often fall through the gaps. Some pay to join and never interact. This makes me feel like I'm failing them. I've heard people say it's normal for 50% of your members to lurk. It's just who they are. I don't buy this. I don't think lurker is a personality type. I think it means they don't feel confident enough to participate. As a community manager, it's my job to fix this without losing my mind. So here's how it works. Your dashboard shows your community members split into buckets based on how active they are. You can see community activity over time, as well as your rising and falling members. On the Members tab, you can search for any member and filter by bucket or assign custom tags. Here I'm selecting the members I know prefer to be contacted by email. You can bulk message them, personalized emails, or since earlier this week, Slack DMs. You can also select individual members and add notes, tags, or upload data about them. Here I'm viewing fictional member Tiffany. I can see from her notes that she needs help with sales, so I'm searching for members who can help her and making an introduction by email. To get more information about your members, their interests, needs, and personalities, you can create custom surveys with multiple question types. Their responses will be stored as a searchable note on their profile. The better you know your members, the better you can build connections with them. We started work on Community Copilot in December last year, but the bulk of our build has happened during ODNC. We launched a pre-sales page at the start of Feb and got 4 pre-sales at $99 each. We also have 21 communities on our waitlist. Earlier this month, we launched to beta users, including a community of 13,000 members. And to our delight, one of our pre-sales is a big name in the community space. I won't name them, but let's say indie hackers will miss her greatly. Oh, sorry, I don't know how that got there. Anyway, this is our stack. The front-end UI is built on Bubble, as well as operational parts like CRM features, messaging, and surveys. We opted to use code to handle the large quantities of data we're crunching, in this case, Python to Postgres database, which feeds Hasura and then Bubble. Shout out to my talented co-founder, Kevin, for that part. We currently integrate with Slack, but are planning to incorporate other platforms soon. Finally, here are some of our favorite comments from Twitter, in particular, Mr. Bruce, who appears to be a talented wordsmith. You smashed it. Bonkers. Thanks for listening, everyone.
that's a sign that everyone's feeling a little speechless, but okay.
Can you talk about your monetization strategy a little bit more?
Yeah, so we're planning on doing kind of just a subscription SaaS. So our target price point is somewhere between $50 and $100 a month. And I think if it's a monetized community, that should be kind of value for money for them. And there are some other competitors in the market that I've noticed recently, which are charging similar. So I think it's achievable.
Are you thinking of scaling pricing with the size of the communities?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be a good thing to do. I think there's a trend now, isn't there, for like flat pricing for everyone. But yeah, to me, it makes sense to make the bigger communities pay more.
Where do you think your entry point is as far as the kind of sweet spot customer where you start out? Are you hoping that it's people building brand new communities, or are you hoping people with existing communities sort of transition over from one tool to Community Copilot?
So a few people I've spoken to who have been running big communities for a while just use Excel and kind of Google Sheets to keep track of all their members. So I think it would be an easy transition for them. And in fact, the one person with the 13,000 members, she keeps all the information in her head. So this was like something she really needs and she was desperate to have. So yeah, hopefully it will be a combination of new communities and old ones.
Excellent. All right, Kieran, thank you so much. I'm not going to let you drop any more hints because I think you've given all the hints about this community, but also at the same time, I am losing track of how many on-deckers right now watching is trying to think of like DMing you about getting access to this. So, brace yourself for that. All right, moving on to our last pitch of today's show. Really excited to bring on stage Kylie Smith from San Diego, California, and her project is Herald. Take it away, Kylie.
All right, last pitch. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And while I get that set up, who here is currently investing? Raise a hands. All right, and who here, when I asked that question, thought about investing money? Mostly everybody. We think about investing money, but what about investing in yourself? Introducing Herald. Herald helps you track and build habits in a fun and seamless way. Who is it for? It's for people who read things like Atomic Habits or The Power of Habit, have tried some sort of Google spreadsheet tracker thing, or who just want to feel awesome and reach all their goals and dreams. What problem does it solve? We know building a new habit is hard. We know that tracking your habit helps. There's a lot of research that shows this. But tracking itself is a habit. So we're stuck in this endless loop and we're frustrated. Lance put it really well. He said he went through 7 iterations of goal tracking, but the hardest part is remembering and prioritizing your completions. Herald helps by doing all of the tracking for you with a simple text message. Let's go in and see how he works. You can sign up with your phone number and then he'll text you, introduce himself, and send you the link to sign up. So let's create a habit. I'll enter in my phone number, and then I'm going to enter in my habit. I'm working on slashing 3 tasks every day. That's my habit. Great. And then at 8:15 that night, I get my text from Herald. Hey, it's Herald. Did you slash 3 tasks? I did. I had a really good day. So I'm going to respond yes. And then he's going to ask me, did I close my rings today? Oh, no, I didn't do that. Oh, well, I'll just track it anyways. Herald responds. He says, 15 days track. Nice work. Wow. He didn't even make me feel bad about that. Every week I get a recap with my stats and I can go in and see all my responses so I can learn what's working and what's not. What are people saying? Catherine said it totally works, by the way. 2 weeks ago, she could barely do 2 pull-ups and now she can do 4. I built this MVP prior to ODNC, but in the last 10 weeks, I've been developing a business model, automating and scaling and improving in performance and focusing on marketing and growth. As a result, I got 3 paid customers, 200 new waitlist signups, and a big increase in weekly users. I have about 33 people using it every week. I also made the text 3 times faster. I can have 5 times more people in the cohort, and 33% are responding at least 4 times a week, which is my core metric. I received $5,000 Product Hunt Maker Grant and was featured in the Product Hunt newsletter. People are talking on Twitter. They're tweeting, trying to get access and get off the wait list. And some people are also commenting on the product experience itself. And as a demo day surprise, No code stack really quick. Autocode, Airtable, and Twilio are the main ones. And demo day surprise, you can skip the wait list. Text Harold and say hey at 720-943-8435 to get started. Today only. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take questions.
I've seen a lot of habit apps kind of companies, and so differentiation is so important. How do you think of that, and also maybe your roadmap?
Yeah, great question. So the SMS is really the differentiating factor. I had tried all the habit tracker apps, I tried the spreadsheets, but I could never stick with it for more than a few days. So the fact that Harold texts you every day, it's automated, and that's really differentiating factor. I'm not going to remember to go into an app. We just have so many things going on. And in terms of roadmap, a lot of exciting things, expanding internationally. So maybe rebuilding on Slack or Circle. I want to build in milestones. For my data, I can see when people tend to fall off. And so I want to celebrate when they reach those milestones.
Sort of jumping on that question, I think with habit tracking, it's like very aspirational. I think there ends up being a lot of ambivalence from people and actually implementing the habits. And so you referenced James Clear's book at the beginning, Atomic Habits. Have you thought about like incorporating any of his or others' habit science into the project to actually help overcome that little inertia and motivation that people often face?
Yeah, great question. I do want to incorporate something at the beginning of the onboarding process where I help people come up with the habits. I've found that that's a big part. Right now, I link them to a community board where they can see other people in the community and what they're tracking. But a recent user, Catherine, I worked with her, and we came up with, she has a pull-up board, and I said, your atomic habit should just be touching that every day. So she's been doing that, and the results have been amazing. So I think some sort of onboarding process to help people pin that down and get to the right level of habit will be really important.
I guess I could say this, that James Clear would be so proud of what you created. Kylie, also, it looks like the audience in the Zoom chat want to know how the name Harold came to be. You want to share that story quickly?
Sure, yeah. Harold was my mom's dad's name, and my sister was having a baby boy, and I really wanted her to name him Harold, but she wouldn't. And so when I was making this product, I just named him Harold. And then it stuck because he's like this wise grandfather figure that helps you but doesn't judge. And he's just like a sweet old man. So it's just stuck ever since then.
Love that. Love that. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now's the time for judges to go into the breakout room and do a little bit of deliberation and give us the final scores and results. But meanwhile, I'm going to present a couple of things. Stay with me here. Okay, for the audience who are watching, both on deck and friends on deck and everybody on Twitch and YouTube, you can vote for Crowd Favorite Award as well. As I shared at the beginning, that's the link, odnc.io/demo day crowd fave. We're gonna drop that URL in the Zoom chat as well, but I'm just gonna leave this here for a couple more minutes. And also make sure you go on Twitter and hype up your fellows and presenters, and also give some love to our judges. They've been incredibly amazing in terms of asking questions, follow-ups, making people think. So just let them know that you love them. While judges actually do the deliberation, I think we have a couple minutes here, and I was thinking if I could bring some of the ODNC1 fellows up and to share any gratitudes or your favorite moments from the first cohort. Do we have any ODNC1 fellows who want to go off mute? Bilal, you must be ready if you are around. I've seen you on Zoom chat.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Want to share?
I'm always here.
Bilal's from Canada. He's a dear ODNC1 fellow. So Bilal, take it away. Want to share a couple of gratitudes or?
Absolutely. Very, very, very grateful for the entire community. Actually, I feel like I should be, I'm going to try to switch to my laptop. I'm on my desktop, so I don't have my cam on, but I feel like I should be doing on cam. But very, very grateful for everything that ODNC has built. Not just the team that has built ODNC, but also everything that has come out of ODNC. I'm pretty sure I'm speaking on the behalf of every single ODNC fellow here. Like, we're all uber grateful for all the programming, all the introductions, all the community, all the progress, all the eye-opening things that have come out of ODNC. I think it's insane. Like, we're like, we would see a lot of these things in the bro code world, but here we are seeing this in the no code world, which is amazing. And I think that this is literally just, like, I know KP has mentioned this, and I know a lot of people have mentioned, but this is literally just the beginning of what not just the ODNC ecosystem, but what the no code ecosystem is projected to be. And if this is what we're seeing, I made this comment a couple of days ago, where if this is what we're seeing as the first Cohorts project, you can only imagine what ODNC 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is going to look like. So really amped about that. And from myself also, just thank you so much for everything the team has done. Like, it's really amazing to be a part of this community, and I'm really happy to carry the torch, and as alumni, really looking forward to helping out in the spirit of service for anybody that's coming into the new ODNC ecosystem. Thanks so much for giving me the opportunity to talk, KP.
Thank you, Bilal. Bilal's definitely going to be a very involved alumni. If you can tell, he already threw a Zoom party, and I'm expecting more and more parties from Bilal. Bilal's party is always hype. Moving on to, I'm curious if you have Leon from South Africa. I want to hear from Leon if you want to share a few words, but if he's not around.
Of course. Yeah, hi everyone. Just incredible to see what everyone has built by the end of ODNC. And also coming from South Africa, the fact that you can connect with people from around the world, feel like you're building with kind of best friends by the end of it. I think that's an incredible feeling, and time almost becomes quite relative, because your output is almost more than you would ever imagine. I can't believe it's only been 10 weeks, and just so proud and stoked of just by seeing everything that's been built by everyone else. And I feel like everyone here is a supporter. No one is sort of hating on your success. Everyone is just so happy because we all feed off that. So to all the ODNC first cohort, love you guys, and can't wait to see what everyone ends up building going forward.
Leon's a pioneer among many of opening a channel from ODNC to On Deck Startup, the official team. He joined, as one of our team members at On Deck. We also have Vinci. I don't know if she's here, but she joined On Deck officially after ODNC as well. Let's see. Do we have any other fellows who want to go off mute and share maybe your favorite moment or a favorite story from ODNC 1?
I'd love to say KP, but
Guys, come on. There's been lots of crazy stories and lots of amazing moments. Let's talk about it. Come on.
Yeah.
Freestyle.
I was going to say that from day one, the kickoff, we were like freestyle rapping together, which was amazing. And some people in this cohort are just as talented at rapping as they are as no code. So it's just been a blast from day one.
I love that. Shout out to Max Nissenbaum, our program director at On Deck Writers, who's always gracious enough to lead a cipher, lead a rap room. Anybody else want to go next? We have a few minutes before the judges come back, so I'm trying to fill the gap here.
I have to admit my favorite is seeing the babies. People are bringing their babies into the sessions. Jemima down there in Australia joining with Zach, is with Phil. Love the babies.
Babies of ODNC 1, definitely.
I'll go.
Dan, come on.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I'm most proud of is just being in a place where I didn't really understand what was going to happen. It was so bewildering. I said, what was this going to be? And then seeing the growth of everyone and how some people had never even heard of no code. the day, like before they joined, or like a month ago, and then by the end they were building like incredible things, and it feels like it's a microcosm of like what's going to happen with the world. Right, there are people who don't know what no code is. There are people who've never heard of anything, and they're going to create such incredible, amazing things. And just being around a group of people who are just doers and givers and shakers and movers, especially you with your dance moves the other day, they were also incredible. And yeah, as soon as they do like on deck dancing, I'm right there with you, man. But yeah, I am. It's just inspiring. You're basically in a loop of always being inspired. So yeah, I just it's mind blowing and soul shaking. And I just, every time anyone says anything, like I do a lot of customer discovery calls in my general day-to-day life, and whenever I see that people are like don't know what to do, my answer is generally, I don't say it to them because I need to be professional, but my answer is like, go to on deck. Just do make moves and do something incredible. So yeah, I am. Yeah. Thank you very much, KP and Janelle, and all of you as well. You've been so incredible.
It takes a village. It's all of us, who are here trying to, lift each other up. I think you touched on something that has been very, very prevalent within the walls of ODNC1 or just ODNC. It is the belief capital, right? We talk about this, often where in the real world, like when you have a new idea, there are more people who are trying to talk you out of your ideas, best ideas, good ideas, bad ideas. And in fact, I feel like in our community, and it's largely a reflection of all of your kindness and your give first mentality. I just got so lucky as a program director to lead a community that was very wholesome, very give first already, that you just bring these people together in a room and they're trying to make each other believe in their own ideas, remove self-doubt, remove limiting beliefs, and just go after it. And we saw so many pitches that were far along, way far along. Some were like not that far, like one was started like a week ago, and there's no judgment. And just being part of this non-judgmental, wholesome give first community is my favorite part of being at On Deck and being at ODNC. So I'm grateful for all of you. Okay.
I just wanted to add one more point here, KP, from Singapore, 4:40 a.m. for me. Yeah. So I just want to share an experience before ODNC and after joining ODNC. Before joining the ODNC, when I started telling people that I am joining ODNC, everybody started questioning about, do you think this is going to scale? Do you think you can build a product in 10 weeks? Do you think, there were so many questions. Honestly, I didn't have many answers to that. But as we progressed through week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on, everybody who questioned me, I took the products that people are building and showing them, okay, this is what is being built in ODNC. This is what is being built in ODNC. Like example of what Shiku built, what B-Microwave built, and so many. When I've been showing this, now people started saying, okay, let's build something now. Come on, I want to join this cohort, or I want to build new stuff. Tell me about more about no code. And people have started coming on Clubhouse. People have started coming on Twitter Spaces talking about it, and now it's all over the place.
Love that. And this is just the beginning, as Eric and David reminds us all the time, that this is the ground floor for On Deck and ground floor for us. And you guys are pioneers. So the next generation, the next cohort, they're going to look up to you, look for advice, look for how to navigate the buffet, and so please keep your phones open. So we're gonna make a bunch of phone calls to you.
I just gotta say one last thing.
All right, one
last thing. There was one thing that you said in the beginning of this cohort where you're like, your dream is it was a tweet that you put out, which is, I want to see which person is going to be the first billionaire to come out of ODNC. Today is a really good testament of where that dream is going. So
thank you, Bilal.
100%, dude.
Bilal's the official ambassador of ODNC to the universe. So thank you so much. All right, so moving on, I think the team all right, okay, let me make sure that I have all the information here. Okay, I know everyone's anxious. We're waiting for the results. Team, the Zoom chat's too long. Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me if we're ready to go? All right.
Yes, we're ready to go.
Okay, cool. Janelle, we had to hear your voice. So ready to go. Please tell me you can see the Demo Day winners slide.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So the first award will be about the second runner-up, and it is going to be Pinky by our Audience U1 fellow, Sisa ISS. Congrats. Please give her a huge round of applause, everybody. Congratulations, Sisa. Canada represent. Moving on to our next award. I'm kind of getting anxious trying to press that button. The next award would be the runner-up, which would be the first runner-up. And it is Sneak Peek by Marcus Walks Nereid. I'm just gonna say Nereid. That's it. Walks Nereid. Marcus, congratulations. This is excellent. The Zoom chat's blowing up. I wish everybody could go off mute and clap, but that would create a bunch of chaos. But so I'm not gonna let people do that. So for the final award, the big award, I wouldn't say final because there's a bunch of partner awards coming up. For the final big award of the day, Best Demo Day, drum roll. Thank you, thank you. It's going to be Pesa Node Shiku, all the way from Africa, representing Kenya. Shiku, congrats. Best Demo Day. Pesa Node, crushing it. Crushing it, crushing it. All right, so we have a few more awards, as we promised at the beginning. Some partner awards. So I'll let the partners go off mute and announce. Emmanuel, if you're listening, if you're still around, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna announce, and just to give context, these awards are across the cohort, not just today's pitches.
Yeah, so my kitchen OS is winning on that one. I just wanted to say congratulations to Kim here in particular, but to the winners and to everyone really. I've been doing quite a few demos lately. It's one of the most fun I've done, to be to be honest. Like, that was extremely engaging, and I think what you guys have built. The reason we went, with On Deck on this is because we wanted to gather a group of, driven, smart people to show what no-code could do. And I think from that regard, this is like a huge success. Like, and it's not just, on the mobile apps, like I'm talking about all the apps I have built, that covers, so many things that no-code can do, which, if you think about it, 2 years ago, no one would believe that we would actually be able to build like real things like this. And now we can show that, there's not too many limits anymore to what we can do without code, and that's really awesome. So congrats everyone, and I'm very happy Bubble was here, and I'm very happy I'm here today.
Thank you, awesome. Moving on to the next partner award. In fact, actually, I may have a slide here. Actually, yes. For the folks who are joining today and you may have missed out the pitch of MakeKitchen. MakeKitchen is a unique system that helps organize your entire kitchen in the most efficient way. It's very COVID-19 on brand, like, working from home. Track inventory, organize your recipes, and always know what to cook based on the ingredients you have in stock. And this, again, as Emmanuel announced, went to Kim. Congratulations, Kim. I know you're here. Moving on to the best glide project of the cohort. David, you ready to announce and share a few words?
Yes.
Take it away.
Yes, Ollie, the touching app for sharing and crowdsourcing and discovering bedtime stories. I was just tickled by how much thought and care and sort of human sensibility I saw in this app, and it just made me so delighted that technology is now at the point where it can become a medium for storytelling, and it can be used to express ideas like this that are, something for for telling bedtime stories to children is not a far-fetched idea to make an app or create technology for. So I love the humanity of it. And overall, I just wanted to say that, being part of this experience and seeing everyone's enthusiasm and everyone's projects just sort of put me back in touch with what it meant 20 years ago when I started learning to make websites as a young nerd. I think I've become a little jaded at this ability to sort of make things. I'm so happy to see this no code opening this up for everyone and everyone getting so creative, and experiencing that with all of you for the first time is a special experience.
I love that. Thank you, David. The techno optimism when in ODNC and just OnDeck in general is so refreshing. There's so many people creating awesome things, and it's always refreshing here. All right. Thank you, David. You kind of described the app for me, so I'm going to skip that description part. Moving on to best Zeno project of the cohort. Prakash, if you're ready, it's going to be...
I'm ready. Banu.
Awesome.
Congratulations. So there's a couple reasons for this award. One is near and dear to my heart, and that's because I started a startup many years ago actually trying to solve the same problem. The relationships, not necessarily with the people in your life, but the things and the objects. And I think it is so amazing what you've been able to build in such a short amount of time. So congratulations. The second piece of this is, as most of you know, Banu's in Singapore. It's 4:47, 48 in the morning over there. And I cannot tell you the amount of times I have seen him just bags under his eyes, working late at night, trying to materialize this. So that has been incredible. You've just been the consummate entrepreneur, and that's been inspiring to me. And then the final piece, which I think all of us can agree on, is Banu's just help and support to the overall community. I see Banu all over the forums, on Twitter, just willing to help people with the problems that they're having and to unlock and jump hurdles that they're facing. So really appreciate that, Banu. And just as a thank you, we'll be putting in a $250 Zeno account credit towards your future building. So thank you so much and congratulations.
Wow,
excellent.
Thank you so much, Prakash and OnDeck team. This is so humbling.
Awesome. Thank you, Banu. All right. So the next award is crowd favorite. It was apparently a tight contest, but by just a little margin, we have Micro Brave, Glenn McWinney, and Mark Bowley. Congratulations. Yes, thank you for the sound effects.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you. All right, so moving on to just, a round of applause to everybody who presented, who was here. We have one more segment where I'm gonna let the judges from today speak. They haven't, given their thoughts on the full analysis and the full summary of all the scores, or just like their overall, perspective on how they felt the event was and how easy or tough the judging was. So feel free to unmute yourself and share a few words, and then we can wrap up.
You guys are such hype people. Thank you so much. It's been so wonderful. I mean, I feel like I want to just hang out with you guys all the time, and so funny. The creativity levels were like through the roof, and I learned so much about sugar, the sugar economy, that I have to go look at it. Thank you so much for making the time and the space. This stuff is really hard to build and do. And so it's really wonderful to see everyone building in public and in community and supporting each other. So keep at it, and congrats to the winners.
I'm super impressed by the speed that some of you were able to accomplish and build these projects, and not only build them, but get the validation that you got. So that's super, super impressive, and really excited to see where some of these projects go. I wanted to just give a special shout out to Pinky, which is my fellow Torontonian, and just love the brand effort that you put into that project, how fast you did it, as well as kind of having this very early insight around people wanting to receive gifts online, but doing so in a safe way. And I think there's a lot of broad applications for what you're building, even beyond the OnlyFans community. So congratulations to everybody, and very excited to see everything progress.
I'll go next. Well, I already said how impressed I was with everything that has been built. So Good job, everyone. Congratulations to the winners, and keep building, like keep pushing these things beyond, the no-code fellowship. Like some of these projects could really very much become businesses. So I hope we can see you grow, and I hope Bubble can help you along the way for the ones on Bubble.
Love that. If Anne's still here, if not, it's okay. We can move on.
Anne has to hop off.
Sorry. Okay. No worries. No worries. Okay. With that said, I'm waiting for the cue for my walk-off music. If there's none, I just want to point out this slide for everyone who attended. Thank you for your patience. I know we are slightly a longer format for a pitch show, but we just wanted to celebrate our fellows. What can I say? Like, there's so much awesomeness in this cohort, and I want to make sure that everybody got that special feeling today. So fill out a feedback form about how the event went. Any feedback, any areas where we can improve. This is our MVP. So help us improve this and make it better and bring more friends and coworkers next time too. So those are the links, odnc.io/feedback. And if you're considering to apply for ODNC for a future cohort, you can just go to that link, beyondduck.com/no-code, or you can just go to beyondduck.com. You can find no code in there. Thank you so much. With that said, it's a wrap.
And I want to just take a second to give a special shout out and thank you to KP and Janelle and all of the people in the back that have been organizing this. They have been working extremely hard around the clock, day in, day out, pulling all-nighters to make this happen. So I just want to give a really big shout out to the On Deck team. Thank you so much, KP, Janelle. Y'all are rock stars. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you. We had so many hands on this. It was truly an all hands on deck situation. So appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.